In this video, I would like to discuss everyday well-being, and in particular, I would like to discuss a certain issue that arises when we experience ill well-being in regards to a lack of autonomy, and in particular when we feel a lack of agency and a lack that we can impact the world in a meaningful way or impact our own well-being in a meaningful way that is inherent to our nature and directly involves the meaning that we perceive direct to our perceptions and with regards to our self-precepts. And we might feel a sense of, say, powerlessness or hopelessness or helplessness in regards to this lack of agency or a lack of a sense of autonomy, in which we feel or lack a sense of meaning in regards to what we can do in our individual capacities to affect change and to relate something that matters to us as individuals and to move towards something that matters in a purposeful direction. This might be characterized also with perceptions involving a lack of meaningful progression towards a goal or something that tends to motivate an individual and impact an individual more positively through promoting these positive perceptions, motivations, emotions, feelings, actions, behaviors, and meanings associated with an individual's self-set purpose, or a purpose that they feel resonates with them and that provides a source of meaning and value that's directly related to the self, and in particular the needs of the ego and what the ego wants ultimately, and which satiates the appetites of the self, the needs of the self, and which are often a source of hopelessness and helplessness when we perceive something that is missing or lacking in our lives and we don't know how to get there or what to do about it, or how to bridge the gap between what we find meaningful and the lack of perceived meaning in the current moment in relation to what we perceive as meaningful, maybe in a future state, or something that's also approximate to the present state within subsequent states moving forward. We might feel helplessness in relation to that if we can't move in a more purposeful direction, or if there are barriers to moving in towards a more purposeful direction. So when we start to perceive the world in more of these relational terms regarding meaning and forming these subject-object relations more willfully, we can start to cultivate a greater sense of individual autonomy and also an individual sense of agency through perceiving ways of approaching the world that allows us to facilitate meaning and development and perceptions regarding these meaningful processes, which cultivate a sense of purpose and mattering in regards to the world through progression towards a direction that's more purposeful through these perceptions of meaning that start with our direct experiences, and also of formulating within our perceptions ways of approaching what is meaningful in an appropriate manner and in a way that allows us to take responsibility for ourselves and cultivate a greater sense of personal agency through individual autonomy when we connect the self directly to what is meaningful and start to individuate ourselves from thoughts of helplessness and aspects of the world and surroundings that aren't necessarily as meaningful or relevant to us. And as we start to discern what's less meaningful from what's more meaningful, we can move in more purposeful directions and move more efficaciously towards these purposeful directions in a way that cultivates a greater sense of personal autonomy as well as individual agency. So that's all I wanted to say for this video. I wanted to keep it short. I hope you have a good day and enjoy. Bye. I'll be discussing more on these topics a little bit later. Bye.